Hello. I'm recording this the same day as the last one, so I still have the blanket on to keep the baby kitty warm. Fun times. I took it out to feed it in between the two recordings, and my cats all came running to find out why there was a baby screaming, because baby was nice and warm and didn't want to come out. I don't blame it. The little bottle I have to feed it, the nipple is too big. I've got some on order, but it's too big. This is going to be the video for the first assignment from the book. This one is for the introduction, and in the book the introduction is 2 pages, and this assignment has nothing to do with the introduction. It's great, but it's more of an introduction of you. So yeah, but the content in the introduction. Who is back there? Stop. Just because you can fit there doesn't mean you should. So this one is spend some time meditating, and there's instructions in the back of the book on how to do it. Contemplate the following question. What circumstances have drawn me to become interested in Druidic spirituality? What do I hope to gain from this course? Write an essay, 3 to 5 pages, double-spaced, reflecting on these questions. The answer is ungraded. Now, this one made me kind of chuckle because it said in the handbook that all the... Hey! What are you doing? No, get off that. Thank you. My power strip died, so now I have a power strip back here to plug everything in so it's not on the floor, so nothing gets spilled in it, because that's what happened to the last one. So now my cat is trying to walk across the power strip to get to the table. I forgot what I was saying. Oh well, I'm just going to read the essay. Oh yeah, the 750 thing. The student handbook said that all the essays require 750 words minimum. 3 to 5 pages is more than 750 words. Okay, so let me make it bigger. Loki. He thinks I have crafted a kitty tunnel. My interest in Druidic spirituality goes back over 3 years. I had just completed my Master's of Science program and my degree for herbal medicine, and I had been contacted for several months by my deceased uncle. I had to purchase a book on channeling to learn how to communicate with him. He was simply trying to connect me with what some may call my higher self. It was from her that I learned my path is that of ancient druidry, and there is a difference. And I'm kind of studying both of them right now. I was told I was a dragon rider. Still learning more on that one. I was taught how to contact an ancient druid through meditation. My higher self taught me how to open the runes, how they are arranged properly, and how she opens them. On the other side, they simply use a frequency. So they send out a frequency to the rune, and it does what they need to do. It's a different process for us. She and the runes told me to write a book on my experience with the runes, and the ancient druid I contacted helped me with the questions to ask the runes for inclusion in my book, thereby proving that druids use runes. Just because there's no archaeological evidence that Druids used runes does not mean that they never used runes. That part's not in there. I was told my path was a very small niche. Within a year of gaining this knowledge, my whole life fell apart, and now I struggle to stay connected well enough to gain much information all at once. I say all of that to say this. I already understood why I'm here before I got into this assignment. That answer is to understand the differences, if any, between the things I can get direct from the other side and what the modern Druids practice. I have read the Bardic Course and the Ovate Course already, and felt that this may help me get more from the material. I asked just to verify if this would help me and was told the course is action. Action is always beneficial if in alignment with your path. For me, understanding the views of others here is not just in alignment with my path. It is a requirement. If I am a Druid, as I was told I am being taught by those, I'm being taught by those not of this world. If I call myself a Druid, what does this word conjure in the minds of those I interact with in this world? Will modern Druids have a problem with me using the term if I have never taken the appropriate training in their eyes? Will I be considered illegitimate as a Druid if I'm not a member of any of the modern Druidic orders? And does validity of any of these organizations matter to my path? I don't know. The only way to answer these questions is to take the courses and meditate in the small spurts that I can and get the answers. I have actually been quite nervous in this aspect because of the requirements for sources. How do you cite your higher self in your papers? That's impossible. Since I was told now is the time for action, I decided to jump both feet in and take these 3 courses. I know I will be told to stop if I get to a point that does not serve my path, as I have also been told not to stray from my path even 1 iota. I've been told I must strictly stay on this path. Having read the first 2 books, I am still confused on what the word Druid conjures in the minds of others. I know this course was, I didn't write this sentence very well. I know this course with the thought-provoking questions can help me delve deeper with better and gain better understanding. Basically, the way these courses are written is for each chapter in the book, there's an essay question to go along with it, right? So if you're just reading the book and not doing the essay questions to go with it, you aren't you aren't doing the work to delve deeper into the concept of that chapter. Because there are exercises in the books, sure, but there's not an exercise for every single chapter. So by going through the course, you're being forced to delve deeper into yourself with each chapter and thereby doing action with what you just gained from that chapter. Yeah, I didn't explain that very well there. Based on the 9 strands, I am already a Druid. Each of those apply to me in some way. I looked ahead and I know that is a future assignment, so I won't go into that. I'm sure I'll get feedback from the people who've been doing this longer than I have, can help guide me in the understanding of the modern definition of the word. I guess since this paper is about meditation on the topic of Druidry, I'll talk about the meditations I have had with my higher self and some things I have learned in this process. I had tried the meditations to contact my higher self and failed several times. In fact, what I didn't put in there was I did a meditation. There's one variant where your higher self is standing at the top of the stairs, and as you go deeper into your meditation, you go up one rung of steps. And when I tried that meditation, I got to the top step, And I was standing there with my higher self, but then I literally fell down the steps and then couldn't get back into the meditation. And that was the most successful meditation I had had up to that point. So I needed help. It was my uncle, while doing visualization exercises for learning to channel, who had her just pop in and helped pull me to her. She was in a stone circle with a pool of the clearest and crispest water I have ever seen. The circle was floating in the clouds. Think Stonehenge, but bigger. And instead of central stones, it was just the water in the middle. At first, it was just her and I as she taught me how to open the runes and communicate with each one. I realized there were others there, just filling in behind us. They were smiling and giving off an intense, loving energy, showing their support for me. The runes each greeted me like an old friend. Some actually picked on me and joked with me, and yeah, it was a very interesting experience. I have worked with them in many past lives, and I know I can trust any guidance I gain from them. 3 or 4 days in, I noticed a dragon in the sky. In fact, there were several dragons in the sky, but one in particular was I zoned in on. Just flying around, but keeping an eye on what was happening in the circle. I asked her about him, and she just smiled at me. She asked me what my interest was in him. I told her he's beautiful, and my eyes were really drawn to him. A couple days after that, he landed in the circle and allowed me to ride him in the meditation. My eyes are tearing up just remembering the memory. These meditations actually helped me through some really tough times. So, yeah. Now my meditations are short and harder to get into, but at the very least, I will just go into my own stone circle, in my own meditations, and give him a hug or sit with him for a few minutes and see if there's anything he feels I need to know that can help me through these times. I heard somewhere that escapes my mind just now that adepts can take over 14 months to meet their dragons. I got that from Merlin. I feel honored to have this connection, but honesty compels me to state that I have no clue what to do with him. I know if I feel danger, I can call on him and he will take care of it for me. This is all I know. I'm also very nervous about sharing this portion of my story in this venue. So I guess I'll find out pretty quick if I'm in the right place. I guess the short of this is I feel the assignments that go with these books will help me more than the books themselves by guiding my introspection and help me find that better place that I need to be in. The self-doubts need to go away. Tears. I know my path, yet I am still in my own way. It needs to end. So I'm here, among others, drawn to a similar path. Thank you for this opportunity for growth. And there it is. I don't think I have anything additional to add because I kind of added to it while I was reading. Oh, I guess it wasn't that clear for the channeling thing. I bought 2 books, and they had exercises in there and how to connect with the other side. They help you figure out what type of channel you are, medium, whatever term you want to use, because there's so many out there. I'm actually getting tired of the different terms, and they all mean the same thing, and then somebody goes, no, they're not. Whatever. So I was going through the different types of channeling with my uncle, and there was one where he was showing me pictures, right? And then I was writing down what the pictures were that I was seeing. And then once I was done going through the exercises, I would use divining rods to ask yes or no, did I get it right? Okay. And that actually was building up my confidence on what I was doing. Eventually, he started showing me things that I didn't recognize and that didn't resonate in what they were, right? Like they were more patterns than like people, places, or things, right? So it wasn't a person or something you would normally be able to identify pretty readily. And I was getting confused and worried that I wasn't getting what I needed. And we got to, I think, the third image like that. And then I saw a white hand in the meditation. And I grabbed it. And that's how I got to my higher self the first time. Very off the wall, very backwards, but it's a signifier that we are all different. Just because the meditations that are out there are not working for you does not mean you're not going to be able to find a way, some other way to make it happen. Get inspiration from where you can. Get help from where you can. Ask people what worked for them. See if that'll work for you. Trying is not going to hurt. May get you more frustrated. But you've got to understand, you learn through failure too. Right? Success is great and all, but failure is the best teacher. How many times did they try to invent the light bulb before they finally succeeded? It's over 100. But they did it. You've got to keep trying until you find the thing that works for you. I had help, sure. You probably have help too, and you don't know it. And in fact, you're probably dismissing your help if you're having trouble getting connected. What positive thoughts are you having? Try that. Okay? There are many ways to skin this horse. Many ways. You just got to find out the one that works for you. All right? I don't have any other assignments ready right now, but that's okay. I'll get these two posted so they'll be ready to go out when it's time. And I appreciate you watching, and have a great day.